Hafide, I'm Yuri Caballero from Pacific Daily News, and here are our top stories from the PDN Newsroom.
Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority is tracking fair market monthly rent costs in 2025 at $1,222 for a 0-bedroom unit or a studio, according to Tuesday's Board of Commissioners meeting. A worker on Guam earning $9.25 an hourly minimum wage would have to work a month to be able to afford this fair market rental studio type apartment, leaving not much for other basic needs such as food or health care. GHURA said a 1-bedroom unit's monthly rent is projected at $1,345, a 2-bedroom unit will be $1,765, and a 3-bedroom unit will cost $2,473, according to a memo shared by GHURA Executive Director Elizabeth Napoli. The update is based on a market trend evaluation made by GHURA's Section 8 housing program staff. GHURA will also be raising the utility allowance for residents in the Section 8 housing program in light of increasing costs for power, water, and sewer services. Ahead of Tropical Storm Manny approach to Guam, 177 children and adults sought refuge at the 3 designated shelters. Many of those who sought shelter were either homeless or lived in homes considered unsafe during typhoons or storms. One of them was Dededo resident Alfonso Morano, who was among the 85 people who took shelter at Maria Ulloa Elementary School in Dededo. His home, made of tin and wood, prompted him and his family to seek refuge at the school. A total of 177 residents stayed in the shelters, with the highest number, 90 people, at GW High School. Telefofo Elementary School had just 2 occupants, the lowest number of shelter residents. These numbers were from Christian Anderson, Administrator for Student Support Services at the Guam Department of Education. And finally, the Department of Public Health and Social Services has launched an investigation into the source of suspected food poisoning that impacted 34 Japanese tourists last week. Dawn Sulat, public health spokesperson, on Wednesday confirmed that both the department's Division of Environmental Health and Division of Public Health Epidemiology began handling the investigation upon receiving notification about the incident. At this time, the investigation is ongoing to determine the source of the exposure, Sulat said. Guam residents awoke to a mostly clear day Wednesday, interrupted by some stiff breezes but not rain, and the weather held throughout the day. It was in stark contrast to what might have been had a certain tropical storm named Manny not decide veer to the left and pass south of Guam, spraying the island from its 45-mile-per-hour winds and heavy thunderstorms. The storm passed about 40 miles south of Guam between 4 and 5 a.m. Wednesday, carrying tropical storm winds of about 45 miles per hour, intensifying to 50 miles per hour as it continued through Guam's southern waters. In other news, 2 Korean nationals have filed 2 separate federal lawsuits against 2 Tumon hotels, according to documents filed with the District Court of Guam. The first lawsuit was filed by Tae-hee Kim against Premier Hotels and Resorts, Inc., doing business as Rigo Royal Laguna Guam Resort in Tamuning, and insurance company Century Company Ltd. for an alleged slip and fall on March 31, 2024, and injuries sustained as a result. The second suit was filed by Yoon Hee Lee against Guam and Guam Inc., doing business as Pacific Islands Club in Tumon, and insurance company Century Company Ltd. for an alleged slip and fall on March 27, 2024, and injuries sustained as a result. Both suits were filed on November 7th, and both suits list local attorney Peter C. Perez and law office of Edward C. Hahn as co-counsels for the plaintiffs. And finally, 5 years after it held its last festive Thanksgiving feast in 2019 at the Chamorro Village in Hagåtña for the homeless and other members of the community, the Salvation Army on Wednesday announced its return of its signature holiday at the same venue on November 28th. The COVID-19 pandemic, social distancing, and other restrictions suspended the Thanksgiving luncheon, and instead Salvation Army resorted to distributing boxed meals, or balutan, to certain areas of Guam during Thanksgiving from 2020 to 2023. After many years, the Salvation Army is proud to bring back the Thanksgiving feast for our homeless community members and individuals in need, Lou Hong Yi, Administrative Services Director for the Salvation Army and its Lighthouse Recovery Center, said. The Thanksgiving feast will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Chamorro Village Pavilion. For more of these stories, go to GuamPDN.com and follow us on social media.